Picture this, a guy in his 20s, loud suits, fast talk, phones ringing non-stop, money pouring in from nowhere, not from factories, not from inventions, not from building anything real, just words, pressure, and a system that quietly rewarded the worst behavior imaginable. That's what makes this story dangerous. Not the drugs, not the yachts, not even the fraud. What makes it dangerous is how normal it all was, and why it still matters right now. Because if you think this was just one crazy guy in the 1990s, you're missing the point. This wasn't a glitch, this was a feature. Let's slow down and walk into it. Jordan Belfort starts as a nobody, a regular kid chasing money because that's what the world told him mattered. He lands on Wall Street in the late 1980s. His first day as a stockbroker? The market crashes. Black Monday. The Dow drops over 20% in a single day. His firm collapses. Everyone panics. Careers end overnight. Except Jordan learned something crucial that day. It's not about being right. It's not about value. It's about selling. A few years later, he finds a loophole hiding in plain sight. Penny stocks. These are tiny companies. Nobody's heard of them. They trade for cents. They're risky, illiquid, and perfect for manipulation. Here's the simple math. If you sell someone a well-known stock, you earn a small commission. If you sell someone garbage that no one understands, you can charge massive commissions, sometimes 50%, sometimes more. That's not illegal by itself. That's the first uncomfortable truth. So Jordan built Stratton Oakmont, a boiler room, cold calls, high-pressure scripts, young guys trained not to understand finance, but to dominate conversations. The script didn't explain companies, it attacked doubt. You don't want to miss this. Smart money is already in. This is how wealth is made. Every call was a performance. Every hesitation was an enemy. And here's the part people miss. The customers weren't stupid. They were hopeful. Middle-class workers, small business owners, people who knew the system wasn't working for them anymore. They didn't want to get rich. They wanted to catch up. That's the emotional fuel of every financial bubble. Stratton didn't sell stocks. They sold escape. Now, let's talk about the system that allowed this. In theory, the stock market exists to move money from savers to businesses that need capital. You invest, companies grow, everyone benefits. That's the story. But in reality, the market is also a battlefield of incentives. Brokers don't get paid when you win. They get paid when you trade. More trades, more commissions, more revenue. It doesn't matter if the stock goes up or down or to zero. That's the second uncomfortable truth. Jordan's genius wasn't financial, it was psychological. He understood that confidence sounds like knowledge, that speed feels like expertise, and that complexity scares people into obedience. If you talk fast enough, long enough, and loud enough, people stop asking questions. And Wall Street loved it, because Stratton wasn't alone. They were just louder. During the same era, major banks were selling products they barely understood. Rating agencies were stamping junk as safe. Regulators were understaffed, underpaid, and often clueless. The culture rewarded aggression. If you made money, you were right. If you didn't, you were weak. So Stratton grew, fast. Private jets, mansions, parties that looked like parody. But beneath the chaos was a simple machine. Take a worthless company, buy cheap shares, hype it relentlessly, sell it to retail investors, dump your shares, walk away. This is called a pump and dump. It's illegal, but hard to prove in real time. Because on paper, everything looks like enthusiasm, and enforcement always comes late. Here's where the math gets ugly. Let's say a broker sells a client $10,000 worth of penny stocks. The client thinks all $10,000 is invested. In reality, half might already be gone as commission.
The stock only needs to fall slightly for the client to be wiped out, but the broker already won. That's not investing, that's extraction. Money moving from many small pockets into a few large ones. Sound familiar? Because this pattern didn't end with Stratton, it evolved. When Jordan Belfort was arrested, people thought the problem was solved. Bad guy caught, justice served, movie made. But the system quietly kept going. The same incentives exist today. High-frequency trading doesn't care about companies, it cares about milliseconds. Complex derivatives don't care about understanding, they care about leverage. Influencer stock tips don't care about risk, they care about clicks. Different costumes, same structure. The irony is brutal. Jordan Belfort went to prison for manipulating markets measured in millions. Years later, entire institutions would manipulate markets measured in trillions and pay fines, not sentences. That's not a coincidence, that's scale. Here's the part no one likes to say out loud. The Wolf of Wall Street was extreme, but not exceptional. He didn't invent greed, he optimized it. He didn't corrupt Wall Street, he reflected it. And the reason this story still matters is because the same psychological levers are being pulled today. Fear of missing out, fear of falling behind, fear of being average. Those fears don't disappear, they migrate. From penny stocks to dot-coms, from dot-coms to housing, from housing to crypto, from crypto to whatever comes next. Different assets, same emotions. The real danger isn't fraud, it's trust. Every time a system promises easy money, it trains people to stop asking how. And when the crash comes, the damage isn't just financial, it's belief. Belief that markets are fair, belief that effort is rewarded, belief that the rules apply evenly. Once that belief cracks, people don't become cautious, they become cynical. And cynical systems don't collapse loudly, they rot quietly. Jordan Belfort today sells motivation, sales courses, personal branding. That's not hypocrisy, that's continuity. The skill was never finance, it was persuasion, and persuasion always finds a market. So here's the unresolved question. If the system keeps rewarding selling over substance, if attention matters more than value, if confidence beats competence, then was the Wolf of Wall Street a villain or a warning we chose to turn into entertainment? Because the next version won't look like him, and that's what should make you nervous.